Yet on Revelation chapter 6, verse 15. And the kings of the earth, those are the leaders of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondsman, and every free man hid themselves in the den, and in the rocks of the mountain, and said to the mountain and the rock, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be abide able to stand? This part here is when God would have allowed the United States of America, because of the continuous transgression, to take control. The most sinister mind here, the secondary force here in the United States of America, who only know dark and sinister measures, run by the CIA. That is why I got behind me, right here, the horn with the little eyes, which you see the little eye spoken of in Daniel chapter 7. And the wolf that was chasing me, that God gave me in a vision, spoken of in Revelation 13, when it said, this is wisdom, his number is 666. So this when the Antichrist was given to me in a vision of the wolf start chasing me, trying to take my life. Now, this is where it is. Now let's go to this. He's showing you the fallout from the nuclear weapon, and people's going to know that the only way that this could be done is God had to be angry with them, because I'm telling you these things before they even happen. You know it's going to be God angry with you when I speak these things and tell you before they happen, and you go on and you turn a deaf ear. You don't tell one another that God have a property among you. There's a man who God has sent preparing the way for the return of Jesus. If we take and you hold it and don't reveal these things, then the seed that God planted in me for me to give you, and you take it and sit on it and don't hold your peace and don't reveal it to other people so they can turn from their way, you become just as guilty as I am. I would have been if I not had given this what God had given to me. We're all supposed to become vessels of God. Not one of us. This is where we are today in Bible prophecy. Our faith is going to be tested. We all supposed to be vessels of God. God didn't create this earth for just sit here and just go around in circles around the sun. He created it for his own pleasures. He created it to be an habitat, an environment of his likeness and of his character. He placed us here as workmen up on this earth to fulfill the wishes of himself, the author and the creator of all things. But when we turn and we turn not and do according to our own will, we cannot serve ourselves. We either got to serve him who created us or give way to the ones who have the demonized spirit. There is no neutral way about it. We got to be either for God or against him. This is the way it is. We have no options here. You either got to go left or you got to go right. You can't sit down because the way is straight and narrow. You must be the vessels of God. You don't have to be a violent person. The pen is stronger than the sword. It's mightier than the sword. And the tongue, the mouth, is stronger than the hand writing, because what comes from the heart comes through the mouth. That's the way it is. Let me continue. I don't want to overrun my time here because I'm trying to do this, and I want to, Lord, when He talks to me, I have to talk to you, and forgive me if you say I just went too far here, but I have to just, whatever comes on my heart, it's not me speaking. God had to speak to you. When God sent Jesus here to be a voice for Himself, then when Jesus went to His Father in heaven, God had ordained witnesses to come back and speak the words, but the words that you hear coming from the witness is not of themselves. We have no authority. We have not the ability to understand these things. These things have to come from God the Father through God the Son, and God the Son is the one who reveals them to us. Revelation chapter 7, and after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. Isn't this something? Isn't it something? Barack Obama said in his speech when he was getting ready to become president, they said we need the energy. We're going to take and we're going to create turbines. We're going to harvest the energy anyway. But when God cursed the earth and you go create your wind farm, and here he says in his word here in Revelation chapter 7, he's going to hold back the wind. If he holds back the wind, then you have no air to turn your wind farm. What is you going to get energy from then? It's going to create a situation where you will have to try to take that oil from those people over there, because you can't run your air conditioner if you don't have no energy, because we have became addicted to the air conditions and all of this. But also, when you go over there, you take that land from the people, all your effort you done planted all of these hundreds and thousands of years to take all of these, not thousands of years, hundreds of years and 2,000 years, to try to enhance yourself through the form of technology, and the heartbeat of your industries have become dependent upon the oil resource. But when you go to Daniel chapter 4, I believe it is, or chapter 3, it tells you that the tree that was feeding the earth, which was the crude oil well, it's going to be cut down and shake off the leaves unless the beast get from beneath it, or the fowls of the air get from the bowl of it. If this tree is the crude oil that feeds earth, if earth become a curse, here it is in chapter 7, Revelation chapter 7, where he said he's going to shut down the wind. But the wind farm is not going to do no good. And he shut down crude oil, so you can't use the crude oil anymore. You can go there, even though you done took that land. The land is going to become barren. You is not going to be able to use crude oil. Then what you going to do? You done shedded all of this blood, and not only have you thought it was going to enhance you, but it have became a curse. It will not profit you. Then the things that you called yourself to do with weapons of mass destruction, say it won't happen to me as long as I got these weapons. Like I said, when Hurricane Katrina came up into the Gulf, and I saw the man's upraised, stood there and looked, who had no power over this. And as I watched from my youth all the way from my childhood to my youth up until now, I seen the storm, I seen them go, but there was no one to contain either of them throughout my life. When the sun beamed up and we had no rain for days and days, there was nobody to cause it to rain when they wanted to, and everything that dried up had to dry up if God didn't give us a rain. I've never seen this happen. So God telling us here in the Revelation that he's going to hold, Revelation chapter 7, first, that he's going to hold back the wind. Then where are you going to get the power to run your wind farm? He tells us in Daniel chapter 3 or 4 there, he's going to cut the limbs off this tree and the branches thereof where it won't yield its oil. You won't have no oil. Then where are you going to get the energy from? You have no power over this.